Hello everyone, I am Ayappa, currently studying BTech third year in London Institute of Engineering and Technology. So as part of my case study, this is the main assessment in ALCS lab. So today I'm going to interview Janardhan Rao Pusarla Garu. So hi sir.
Hi,
Sir, sir please tell me about yourself briefly.
hi, Epa. I am Janardhan. So my native is near Vijayanagaram, that is Nagaram. So I have completed my BTech and that is in CS integrated course of Equitable IT University. So I'm currently working as a software development lead at Provider Technologies. So I have 7 years of experience in the software development currently. So good talking to you. Tell me.
Yes, sir. So first question, the main question is, every person face the interview before going to an organization. So um,
Yeah.
please explain your experience while you are attending an interview, sir, in your college days.
Okay. So anything I felt like interview is simply to know what is that candidate is. For any company, they have their own requirements to uh, hire the student or candidate, whoever it be. So in considering very simple perspective that they will just assess whether that person is going to fit into their organizational culture, and he has the basic need, whether it can be that directly that knowledge, either that stack or development what they need, or that capability whether they can understand their requirements and complete their work within time, and whether they can fit into the team culture like that. There are basic minimum qualities that they will look into the candidate. So interview is mainly you have to present yourself instead of something preparing and solving that yeah, instead of solving something, try to be yourself in the interview. That is the main suggestion that I will say as per my. And I faced only one interview. So so when I'm in college, like it is almost 7 years old, but I don't know whether it may be relevant now or not. But my interviews went in that way only. First, I attempted only two. First one is like at ThoughtWorks, and second one is at Freshworks currently. Previously, it used to be Freshdesk. So at ThoughtWorks, I cleared only coding round. Due to some technical errors in the coding round, I couldn't clear that one. So, but it can be like when I tried to solve the questions, I have a confidence that I can solve it. But it didn't help me, so I didn't go through that artworks. I didn't felt like, okay, I'm not I don't have the skills to complete it and like that. Then I attempted this fresh desk. So it is the highest package that given for our college. So I am the one. I think only three people cleared it. So I'm one of them. So one more suggestion is like whenever you are facing any interview, don't feel like, okay, this is the end. So always you will be having a better option. So you have to be ready for all the scenarios. So it is major suggestions or experiences you can know from.
Great, sir. Great. So so before attending an interview, if the person taking the interview, so firstly have to do some rounds to select into the organization. So like verbal test, coding rounds, we already mentioned about it. So um,
Mm.
please share your experience when you are taking an verbal test like communication part. So
Okay. So actually, in my experience, I didn't face that verbal test actually, but the coding is what happened for me first round. So and as discussed with my friends or others, what I understood regarding that verbal test is also, so how much confidence you are showing in your intent is majorly representing in that interviews regarding the verbal test is, in my point of view, and as I don't have the personal experience, I'm just experienced. I mean, just sharing my friends' experiences only. So I'm not confident whether that is true or not. Also, so according to the coding rounds, it is very simple that some people, I mean, some companies might offer some platform, so you have to complete the code and when it should pass all the test cases like that. They will be having a minimum requirement. So when it comes to multiple rounds, so in coding rounds also they do conduct multiple technical interview. They do call not like coding rounds. They do call like a technical rounds. So first round it should be mandatory to complete all the test cases passed like that. There will be some minimum cutoff like that. So for the next rounds, known things like you have to solve all the questions. So major point is like they do think how do you the problem. So that's what happened with my interview at Freshworks. So it is like a I couldn't remember exactly, but I have a very keen clear thought that it was around like 45 minutes to 1.5 hour happened with that main person who is the lead. He's taking the interview for me. So it's just like a chit chat between us. So it's like he asked us question. So I started asking more details. So later, what happened is like he is also giving me hints, and I am again solving, and I am again questioning, sir, whether it won't be possible when we approach like this. But that hint that you have given, so I think we can approach this way instead of doing like that. So it's like happened that chit chat. So I understood. And one more important point that I would like to tell you is like in interviews, so you shouldn't stuck at yourself. Means like try to be more open. So whatever the thoughts you have to express instead of thinking. Everyone will thought their approaches and solutions. So you have to express yourself mainly. So whatever the things that are going in your mind, you have to express. So that makes you understand that the interviewer to okay, this fellow is not like sitting and thinking doing his own. He's all the time he's expressing, and someone will guide him definitely. So he is a coachable guy, so that we can take him and we can let him know that okay, this is not the way, this is the way. Like yeah, that is the point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So here, mainly communication is very important to get into an
Yeah.
organization or also in a real life. So, which activity
Mhm.
interested you the most in improving your communication skills, sir?
Okay. So again, that there is a misconception that communication means only English. So, in my point of view, communication is nothing but the way of expression. So, from my first statement onwards, I'm clearly telling that you have to be confident and you have to present yourself. That's what the initial statement, and even that recent conversation also clearly communicating myself that you have to be confident and you have to express yourself. These are the major words that I have been using. So, communication means you have to uh, uh, whatever in your mind you have to clearly communicate. So that is one way of communication. So there should be some language to communicate. So whether it can be English or Telugu or whatever it may language you are comfortable, you can speak. But and there is one more important thing is there is a non-verbal communication also. So like sitting postures and nail bitings or something like becoming uh, confused. So these expresses non-verbal. It will also communicate to the interviewer. So that's why I mentioned the confidence word as well. So confidence makes you have to be more. Yeah, I think you know what is confidence is. It don't need. I don't need to be expressed. So that is a major important thing regarding communication. And one more thing that you have asked that what incident or what is that you it helped you to be more communicative. So I told you like I have faced only two interviews. So first one I couldn't pass through that written test. Later I went for some internship at one place. So 6 months of internships we went there. There I understood like whatever you have you can discuss or you can communicate. So there is no restrictions whether it can be wrong or right. Anything you can say. Just you have to say simple. You don't need to think in your mind. Just you have to say. At that point of time, I understood. Okay, no one is perfect, and everyone has their thoughts. You may be right or you may be wrong. Even the wrong word that you say may trigger the right word for others. So that's what the team member in a team means. Group discussion also drives in that way. So it is wrong, it may be correct. So like that, everything is matters here. That communication matters. That to drive the things instead of blocking the ways. So to process, consider it is a river. So if it should flow means it should be an up to downward. So like that, communication should happen. Then only things will flow. Otherwise, everything will be blocked. So that is a major example that I can give, and that experiences that I can share regarding that.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah,
And also, please share some important requirements for facing an interview. So we also interview so many persons while hiring in an organization. So please share
okay.
your points on this.
Oh, what do you mean by skills? Means what kind of interview you are going to face? That company will have their own requirement. So they do mention there in JD, I mean job description. So you have to first cross verify whether you are eligible for that or not. First of all. So and another thing I mentioned is like there are so many interviews. They do test with some coding skills first initially. Something like usually we can take it in a funny way. Like they do ask for some star pattern question usually. So what happens is like you don't do star patterns in your projects, but they do ask that. Why? Why? Because it's like simply they are thinking how the approach that they do pattern questions. It is like nested loops testing. So thinking of means dividing the situations like how many stars I have to print. I have how many spaces I have to print. How you are coming up then what we call logic. So the way that you are printing the day that there itself you can the interviewer can ask so many questions like reduce the loops, write in a single line. So like that he can put you in a situation uh, where how you can complete it. So that is what happens with the project. So there might be a situation that you are exceeding the memory limit. They do ask like okay reduce the memory to half. You have one data. So there is a situation that you are taking so much time. So loading is very heavy. So that means that it is taking more time. You are writing in more loops or something like. So you have to make it like a fraction of second. So like microseconds the output should be. So how you will do it? So my simple statement to tell you is like so every for anything there will be multiple solutions. So instead of jumping into one small solution, just think that whether it is the right solution for the situation. So you have to think that and solve it. I think it is applicable for all the scenarios, whether it can be a problem or in a real life problem or normal scenario, anything. So that is my simple statement to get anything is whether it can be job or whether it can be your personal goals or whatever.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
that is one simple small suggestion from.
Yeah, yes, sir. So mainly a resume is very important while going into an organization. So please give me a few tips how the in a preparation of the resume. So
Oh yeah. Actually, that is like biggest thing that I told you. Like I have attempted from campus placements itself, so resume haven't helped me much. So, but as with my experience, I can simply what I do look into the resume. I will tell you those points only. So simply, you cannot directly go and inform. You can't directly go to each and every organization and tell yourself, right? So they do wouldn't have that style. So that's where you have to present yourself in a short and sweet manner. So that's where the resume comes. I think there is one more thing called CV. You know that, right? So there is a difference between CV and resume. So here that resume matters. It should be short and simple. Whatever the purpose you are applying. Say for example, you are applying for a front end job. Your resume should be filter out all your front end skills and very small information regarding your other skills. Say for example, you are applying for a full stack developer, then you have to explain. So that company that I have so and so projects experiences, and these are the techs I have. So it should be like some people mention like their long coding languages: C, Java, HTML, HTML3, Bootstrap. So they can simply say very small scenarios like, okay, uh, front end technologies I do have experiences like. So they have a small framework knowledge like React or Next.js. They can do simply mention. Uh, when you go to interview, they do definitely ask that guy. And while resume shortlisting also, what we feel is like we have very minimum criteria, like how much percentage he has, so what are the hobbies he has, and how what is his previous experience. These are the major three scenarios that we do. And one more important thing is like how you are presenting them. So at first glance, whether it is attracting me or it is a very sada seda resume, yeah, just like that, we do feel. So if it is like presenting is also good, it shouldn't be high fi. It shouldn't be sada seda. So it should be like uh, attractive at a first glance and more precise. So that is the major suggestion that I give you regarding resume in my point of view. That is like when I am recruiting, when I am shortlisting the resumes, what I am looking. Because I told you like I don't have experience writing the resume.
yes, sir. So thank you very much, sir, for giving your valuable time
You're
to us.
welcome. You're welcome.
You guided me a lot in preparation journey, in my preparation journey. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Yes. Bye, sir.